So what it is with our procedures, so like Snowpark with Python, right? We could create some Python stored procedures, and we create that procedure. If we're going to create it as a procedure, we have to have the privilege, to create the procedures, right? With this, we can actually run a procedure that's an anonymous procedure, so we can kind of create it on the fly, but we're not really creating the procedure. We define it on the fly. We can execute it as a stored procedure. We don't have to have a role with create procedure schema privileges to be able to do this, right? It's just like running some code running that we could have. So we could build these procedures on the fly. We could run them. And another important thing to know here is that with regular stored procedures in Snowflake, we can define those as running on owners' privileges or callers' privileges, right? With the anonymous procedures, everything is run with caller privileges, with caller rights, because the owner is you, right? So it's the caller, because we're not persisting the stored procedure. We're not creating that stored procedure. It's something that's there. It's on the fly, and then it goes away. So everything is basically as caller rights. And so again, with Python, we can have the inline procedures. And here's the Python syntax for that. And again, I'm going to show you some examples when we actually get over to Snowflake and get into the code there. And then we've got another one, and Arcady, you can speak to this if you have a moment, but this is something that Arcady was excited about, that procedure, which is in code that's in a file or a stage, right? So there's some people are like, well, how would I use this? When would I use this? And for those that know, we know exactly that this is why you get excited, right?
So this is important for those of us that are doing continuous integration, continuous deployment. A lot of times we need a place where the code will live. And that code, especially if we're doing conversion projects where we're taking things on one platform and converting it to Snowflake, that code needs to be in some location where it can be scheduled, it can be orchestrated. And so executing code that is living on a stage allows us to spin up a container, do something, do some validation, do some conversion, commit this, or do a put to a stage that is defined as whether internal or external stage, and then we can execute it. And so what that allows us to do is, if you've got CI/CD pipelines, that's a precisely perfect place where you would want to leverage something like this. So yeah, absolutely exciting. I don't have to have a separate compute environment where this code lives. I don't have to have a container necessarily. It can just live on a stage.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful thing. And then we've got here, and not just Python, right, but Java and Scala and JavaScript. So we can do that with any of those. So yep. We are going to have very soon another session where we go really deep into the Python anonymous procedures, kind of like we did with the Snowflake scripting, because there's some really, really cool stuff here.
Hey folks, thanks for checking out this cut from our broadcast. To see the full show, click on the link in the video description. Also, check out our Learning Center, which has white papers, events, live streams, and short explainer videos on a wide range of data management topics. And of course, if you like our content, please share it on LinkedIn. That really means a lot to us. Thanks again for checking us out, and we hope to see you in our next broadcast.